Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 17 of Jillian's Clinical Corner. Today, we will be discussing a year in telehealth, if you can believe it. First, can anyone believe that it's been a year? Well, we're at the year mark of telehealth services. Think about where we were last March, March 2020, and how mid March the world just took a pause. 1 second, we're getting together, we're hugging when we see each other, and the next, we are locked at home, missing birthdays and holidays, and not leaving our houses. At the same time, people were figuring out how to work from home, teaching students, holding meetings, and generally doing all of their usual office work from their dining room tables. Kids everywhere were also shuffled home due to stay-at-home orders, and schooling suddenly became something that was done online, pushing internet providers and working parents to the brink. The same goes for ABA providers. While we usually work within a client's home, we suddenly were pushed out onto online platforms to connect with our clients virtually. The major question on everyone's mind for both schooling and our ABA services was how? Well, let me tell you, we did it and we are still doing it as needed. All services were shifted to the home at that time. Parents became teachers, and teachers and ABA therapists and BCBAs became Zoom experts. We conducted parent training, technician delivered telehealth instruction, and direct therapy through a computer screen, and things were actually successful. Pollard, LeBlanc, Griffin, and Baker in 2021 conducted a study which examined 17 cases that transferred from in person to telehealth delivery of treatment when COVID 19 first started. They reported that 76% of the participants that they studied had the technician delivered telehealth service. So the technician would deliver the telehealth service through the computer screen, just like this, and that the rest of the participants were receiving caregiver implemented services. So the BCBA would provide parent coaching or parent training, but the parent would be there actually implementing the service. So the participants received roughly the same amount of hours through telehealth as they were when they were in person, so pretty much an even match. Then, if you can believe it, the participants they studied, quote, maintained or improved correct independent responding across all targets, from the in-person treatment to telehealth treatment, end quote. Can you believe that? So the participants studied actually demonstrated increased achievement via telehealth, or at least equivalent achievement and independent responding. It's amazing how telehealth services taught you all of the things you could do from afar and the possibilities that were available. We at Graham had been trying to put together a social skills group for a while, but it was hard to find a location that worked for our participants and clients in the area that they were all available to go to. And then suddenly, and it seems so obvious now, in the middle of the COVID 19 pandemic, we get the idea to do a virtual telehealth social skills group. Now we have two functioning groups of different ages, and these students are all spread out all over the state. We could never have done this in person, and honestly, we have no intention of trying to transfer it to in person once we're able to. And this came out of the inability to do things in person. So we really learned this from this telehealth experience. So, what am I saying? Long story short, telehealth has really taught us a lot. Am I excited at the idea of returning to things in person? Yes, of course I am. But there are some things that will persist even after stay-at-home orders have passed. I personally used to really not like video calls, But now I've really grown and learned to love them for professional meetings, for virtual family visits, and to wish a friend happy birthday when you can't get to them. Those are all things that happen even not within the COVID-19 pandemic. Those are all things that happen with family out of state, with a friend that you just can't schedule because their birthday is in the middle of the week. You could do all of those things via Zoom or any other social media platform that's come about now. I'm, like I said, a year in telehealth. I think everybody has grown a lot over the course of that year. And even though we're going back in person to some things, some of our telehealth growth and some of our experiences will continue on. So, thank you so much for joining me. Please come back next month for Clinical Corner number 18.